And District Attorney Andrew Wylie is with us now. Appreciate you taking the time to be here.
Thank you, Tom.
You're in close contact with state police investigators in this prison break. They put out a statement saying that the search was being scaled back from the wider dragnet to focus on leads and intelligence. They say they did find evidence during last week's exhaustive search, other than the dogs picking up the trail. Can you tell us what they found?
What was found was there was a number of bedding sightings out in the wooded area. And those certainly could have been from either Matt and Sweat, bedding down, hunkering down for a while to avoid being detected. It also could have been an animal of some sort in that area.
And food wrappers were found also,
there were
right?
some food wrappers that were found. Evidence was collected and it's being sent down to the lab to be analyzed. And if it comes back with either of their DNA on it, it'll at least let us know they were there at one point in time.
But nothing conclusive yet?
Nothing conclusive at all.
Any sightings at all?
None at all. Nothing that's positive identifying the two of them.
Last week, people thought maybe they saw the two of them rummaging through trash at the Maple Fields near the prison. Have you had a chance to look at the security video, and did you see any sign of them?
I haven't personally looked at it, but state police investigators have, and there's no sign whatsoever that the two were there. And I think it's with the way that wrapper was found in the wooded area, we were hoping that they were going through the garbage and that we would catch them on the video, and we didn't find anything positive from that.
Given no hard evidence from the manhunt over the past week now, does that suggest to you that they're gone from this area and found another way out of here, or does that tell you that they could still and likely are still here?
It's very possible that they're still here with the vast area that we have in the North Country, in the village area and outside of the village, all the valleys outside. There's almost, there's a multitude of places that they could be hiding if they are still here. With not having any break-ins in the area, with not having any stolen vehicles in the area, it also could mean that they had a second option when they popped out of that manhole, and they are no longer in the area.
Do you think that's likely, that they had a plan B?
It's possible, but with the information that we've had from Joyce Mitchell, that they gave her a specific time and a specific location where to meet her, one would think it's hard to believe that they had a plan B if they were relying so much on Joyce Mitchell.
There had been a lot of reporting that there may have been a cell phone, that they may have had a cell phone when they got out. Any evidence that they had a cell phone?
Well, cell phone towers are being, the information is being reviewed, it's being analyzed. To this point, we don't have anything conclusive that would indicate that's the case. And we certainly have no information that they had a cell phone inside the facility.
You mentioned Joyce Mitchell. She's been arrested and charged with helping the inmates escape. You believe that she smuggled in hacksaw blades and chisels, small tools like that into the prison?
Right. Hacksaw blades, a screwdriver bit, a punch bit or a punch instrument. There were a pair of glasses that had lights on them.
The hacksaw blades probably could have been used to get out of the cells, but do you believe they had to have other power tools to get through to that steam pipe into freedom?
Yeah, based on all the information we have, Tom, based on the people, the experts that have looked at the cuts in the tunnel system and the piping, it would be apparent that it would be more than just hacksaw blades. There were not an exorbitant amount of hacksaw blades found in the areas, and that would be a sign that they were just using the blades. But so yeah, we believe some form of power tools that were located in the inside of the facility, whether it was on the catwalks or it was down in the tunnel area, were found by these two men, utilized, put back, and then later taken by the contractors when the contractors came back to collect them.
So you think they used tools belonging to the contractors eventually came back and took the tools, probably not even knowing that they had been used?
Correct.
When Joyce Mitchell talked to you, did she give you a reason for backing out at the last minute? She was supposed to pick them up at midnight and drive them some 7 hours away. Did she give you a reason for backing out?
Well, of course, as you know, I haven't particularly spoken directly with Joyce, but the interviews that she has, the interviews that I've observed from the videos, and I was present last Saturday when she was giving her interview to the state police, monitoring it on the video system. She did not specifically tell us why, other than the fact that she loved her husband, that she ended up at the last minute making the determination that she didn't want to leave her family, leave the area. Possibly, she didn't use these words, but possibly realizing what she had gotten herself into, the reality of it had finally sunk in, and that she made that decision to not show up. The best choice that I think we wish she would have done was call the police at that point in time and advise the police and advise the Department of Corrections that these two men were about to escape or had escaped from the prison.
She was planning to run away with him?
Yes, she was.
She didn't know where they were going, only that it was 7 hours away, but no idea.
That's correct. That's the information she's provided. It's just a 7-hour time frame, no direction or location on where they would be going.
Did she admit to investigators that she was part of a scheme or a plot to kill her husband, that was part of this deal?
The information that we have on that, Tom, is that she and Matt had discussed what would happen once they escaped from the prison. That Joyce would pick them up, as we talked about, after midnight by the power station. And at that point in time, Matt advised her, per her statements to us, that they would go back to her house and that they would kill her husband. Did not get into the details of how the homicide would take place, just that that was the plan. So in particular, what her involvement was, she advised us very little as to her involvement.
Do you think she was being truthful? I know that at the news conference this week you expressed doubt that seemed feasible, that two killers are going to break out of a maximum security prison and spend an hour and a half driving to a location to kill her husband.
Correct. That doesn't seem reasonable, that would happen. That's just my opinion. So with that and the fact that every time she was interviewed, she's giving a little bit more information, not a lot more, but a little bit more information, incriminating, herself to some extent in doing that. But whether this whole murder plot was, possibly something for her to, receive a benefit or consideration for, that she didn't go for this, was maybe assist her case and, for her part of the escape. I'm not sure about that. We'll continue to investigate that aspect.
Is that why she hasn't been charged in connection with that a murder plot?
Well, with the murder plot, we would have to have more evidence than just her testimony or her statements to us. We would have to be able to have legally sufficient evidence to go to grand jury, and then we would have to have evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to go to trial on that case. So we're still investigating that aspect, and if other evidence supports that was the case, then we'll certainly consider charging her.
Do you think it's possible that she was either threatened or coerced into doing this, or even saying that the plot was to kill her husband?
Right. It's possible that Matt and she could have discussed that. That's not something that she's disclosed to us. It's certainly a theory.
You believe that she had inappropriate relationships with both of the inmates inside
Right.
the prison?
And that's based on her statements to us. Also the findings that, maybe not the findings, but the actions of the Department of Corrections back in 2014 with her and Sweat, removing Sweat from the tailor shop and relocating him. It's the specific information as far as what happened, we haven't been provided with, continuing to try to get that information. But it's apparent that occurred. Everybody confirms that an incident, inappropriate behavior occurred. And as far as her and Matt in the facility, the conduct that she told us about, sexual in nature, it's unbelievable that it could have happened, in the tailor shop. But I've been through the tailor shop, and there's various areas within the shop that this type of conduct could have occurred, possibly not being observed by either the other inmates or by the correction officer staff on duty.
Do you believe her husband knew about the escape plot beforehand, or only learned about it after?
Sure. Based on what information I've been provided, not only from the interviews of Joyce, but also the 2 interviews that have been conducted of Lyle, the investigators believe that he only knew of the information after after the escape.
Do you think others inside the prison or outside the prison assisted in this escape?
I mean, based on the information that we're learning, it's very possible that there could be others, and we'll continue to investigate those leads.
Of the nearly 1,400 leads you've had, nothing specific as far as a sighting?
As of 10 o'clock this morning, nothing.
How frustrating is that for you, for state police investigators, corrections officers, everyone involved in this 2-week search?
It's, in my speaking with our law enforcement brothers and sisters that are out there in the field, it's becoming extremely frustrating. We're coming up on 2 weeks, and there's been no signs of where they're located. We need a break. You know, we hope a break comes soon.
Andy Wylie, thanks a lot for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.